What's going on, guys? Welcome to another video. This is your boy Narik Chase, and I just want to go ahead and make a video talking about this whole disaster regarding Fallout 76. Now, when I heard that there was going to be a Fallout MMO game, I was like, that doesn't sound like the best possible idea. And I'm really sure now that I've been confirmed that I am not the only person that thinks that thought that at the time. And look, I can see Fallout 76. I can see a Fallout game being an MMO. It has the world for it, it has the setting for it, it has the diversity for it, and there's a lot of great ways that they could have went about doing this as an MMO game. However, Fallout 76 is definitely not one of those experiences. Now, we've all heard about the massive bugs that are in the game, the lack of actual content towards the game. This has just been an ultimate disaster. And I want to know, Bethesda, what were you thinking? Because you know the backlash. You knew the backlash that you were going to get from releasing this game. Look, I was interested in the concept of Fallout 76. I'm not one of those players that likes to play online like that, unless it's like Halo or sometimes Call of Duty or Battlefield. But I'm not one of those that likes to play online like that. So my when they said it was going to be a straight up online game, I'm like, okay, there's going to be a problem, but we'll see where we go with it. And boy, did they fuck up. They fucked up. Now, I don't understand how you could go about making an MMO game in this day and age with this type of license and screw it up. I don't understand it. Um, Look what happened with what was going on with the Elder Scrolls Online. I think that came out decent, but it had its share of problems. Look at remember No Man's Sky. Remember Sea of Thieves when they launched that. See, I don't understand what is up with these game companies seeing this trend go on, but they just like, okay, I'm just gonna do the exact same thing and expect just a different outcome. Look, I've managed to pull up some websites as well. We're going to see what other people think about this game. That's the Guardian. We're going to go to Metacritic because I like Metacritic. Um, let's see if I know how to do this. And okay, let's see what Metacritic has to say about Fallout 76. Now, shut up. I want to see that. Now, guys, some of these are, can't really take them to heart because, um, and y'all know I try to be fair with reviews and stuff. So I need you to tell me what's wrong with the game and not just tell me and not just say what you don't like about it. So let's see. We have some that are actually good. Let's see. Fallout 76, and it isn't Fallout at the same time. And for all the hope around the multiplayer, both friend and foe seems inconsequential most of the time. Just passerbys on the street more often than not. It's there, but it doesn't matter. So I've heard that the multiplayer was all right, could have been better. Look, I want to say this: everybody wanted a Fallout game with multiplayer aspects, but we wanted it in a co-op fashion, similar to Gears of War, similar to Halo, similar to Borderlands. That's what we wanted. We didn't want no massive online multiplayer. And Bethesda, I hope after you take this ass whooping that you're getting now, the next game that you decide want to put out, actually make it a good freaking game. Now, a lot of us that like playing Fallout do appreciate the single player aspect of it, and I've been talking to Zach because Zach got the game. I have a friend named Derek that's got the game as well. In fact, my homeboy Manuel got the game too. And yes, a lot of what these people are saying in this have actually been confirmed throughout their campaign experiences. That yes, the game can be fun with another person, and it's more preferable to be played single player because most players like playing games like that single player. Uh, but The multiplayer aspect could have been just the whole online all the time aspect could have been just wiped out. The fact that we have no NPCs um, and a thin story does affect the overall quality of the game as well, because one of the best aspects of a Fallout game are the characters, are the NPCs, are the side quests and the stories. And from what I've been seeing online, as well as what I've been talking with Zach, yes, no NPCs leads to a lack of content and interactions in the game. Because face, nobody wants to sit here and talk to other freaking people. We want to talk to some NPCs that's really cool. You know what I mean? The side quests appear to be pretty stupid, and I don't like games where you have massive online. It's like fetch quests. It's stupid. Um, there appears to be a lot of enemy types, which is one of the highlights of the game. All of these new enemy types, as well as a few recurring ones, but mostly the new ones, did catch my eye, and I thought that was a plus. I really wanted to fight that damn bat thing, the giant bat thing. That thing's pretty cool. Settlement building also has been just, it's okay from what I've seen and heard, but it could have been better. I can understand the limited aspect of it because you're going to be constantly on the go, and it doesn't make sense to build like a whole freaking town anywhere. And it also helps that when you limit it, it's more refined with the building, so it isn't just buggy. Right here we have another one. Person says is a negative is empty and soulless world, completely bland quest design, limited variety of unpolished content that gets repetitive very quickly. A lot of what I've seen as well. Plus the typical game breaking bugs and glitches we come to expect from Bethesda game title. Using the same decades old engine, meaning that Fallout 76 is a game that doesn't even quite manage to appeal to the special co-op survival crowd it wants to appeal to in the first place, let alone old or newer fans of the franchise. So I can kind of get behind that. After Fallout 4, yeah, Bethesda, you definitely need to upgrade your gaming engine. Because I thought the game, I thought Fallout 4 was like a good, like, okay, final use for this game. Like, for this engine, they don't need to use that anymore. Zach was telling me that some interesting aspects include, yes, the large map, which from what I can see, it looks beautiful. It looks like there's a lot of variety to it. Massive, bigger than Fallout 4. So that means a lot of room for exploration. A large variety of different creatures that would be encountered in a wasteland has been increased. I thought a lot of the ones that I've seen were pretty cool, so I'm thumbs up for that. The gameplay of the controls and the combat looks actually pretty cool, and I know Zach didn't really like the whole aspect of the VAT system, whereas you can't stop time, you can't slow down time, but depending on your location and the strength of your enemy, it brings up the percentage of your hit percentage and everything on it. I think that's actually pretty cool. And the further away they move, and as they move, it changes. I think that's actually pretty cool because it does allow us to keep the VATs in the system. Because if you're playing multiplayer and you're playing with like 5 different people, you all can't use VATs. It'll just probably break the game. You'd be like forever frozen in time because so many VATs are going. So I think they did a great job of getting around the VAT system. There's a lot of exploration, as I've said, and the story, from what I can tell, and what he was telling me, is that you're basically getting data logs from like robots and holotapes and stuff like that. And to some extent, I think that's an interesting concept, but it would be a better fit had there been more when it comes to actual NPCs. Let's look at another one. I just screwed that up. Um, I let's see. I don't think I've been this bored in a game a long time. Pointless slog in the soulless environment, void of anything fun to do. I've seen some of the things where if you're actually fighting creatures and they disappear, they will literally respawn in front of you. I thought that was weird. Um, do you want to experience Fallout 4, but with an early access feel and still pay a AAA, I say AAA price for it? Then boy, this game for you. I would like to say this. This game doesn't look like it was finished, and I can understand some of the direction. Like, okay, no NPCs, soulless, but you have to definitely circumvent that, go around that. As it stands, I have a few beefs with some systems, and I've definitely run into some classic Bethesda bugs, but I'm having a good time despite those things. Oh, let's see. Is it GameSpot? I continue to play this game with the intention of finishing the campaign. The good portion of the side quests and getting involved in game content. This review will be updated, finalized, and all that. But this I feel like the only reason I'm enjoying the game as much as I am is because of existing partners. Yeah, a lot of us that are playing this game uh, would enjoy this game for the simple fact that we like Fallout games. I'm a Fallout fan. Yeah, I've seen the videos in my playlist, and I'm hesitant to buy this. Like, I really want to get it, but I'm like, no. Now with all the bad publicity and what's going on with it now, so I definitely will wait till they patch it up and when that price go down, because this is like Sea of Thieves to me. There's no way in hell this game should be $60. It should be like 40 max, 30 to 40 max. That's about it. Um, paper. Fallout 76 premise may have made a lot of sense of paper, as many people love surviving with friends in a huge world, but in practice it has a lot of things that keep it from reaching greatness, from the sparse open world with too few players, to the non-engaging story, to the actual concrete multiplayer, more cooperative and competitive. Uh, It's a bold experiment, one of gaming's biggest and most beloved franchise. Fortunately, the experiment seems like a failure so far. Bugs and glitches are everywhere, but worse is that the core principles of design just don't function the way they seem. Let's see what we have on The Guardian. I'm sitting here just moving stuff around. I'm just moving stuff around. I don't know how to freaking do this. All right, let's see. Yeah, I'm sitting here screwing stuff up. Go to this side. Okay. A pointless walk in the post-apocalypse. Have a conflict. Witness quest on of the dead. The solar sequel is perfect. If you enjoy picking up rubbish in the wasteland. All I see is your urge to leave your underground home to remake America after a nuclear apocalypse, venturing through Appalachia, collecting scrap to build with, and weapons and armor that help survive the radiated environment and the monsters, super mutants, robots that now call it home. You're not alone in this endeavor. Online, you can team up with or attack your fellow former vault dwellers, or you can ignore them completely, treating the game as a solo experience that nonetheless requires a constant internet connection. Freaking sucks. Any games that require complete the constant internet connection freaking suck. Rebuilding the world with strangers and friends is a tantalizing prospect, but Fallout 76 needed a fun social dynamics and communal sense of purpose that make other online multiplayer games enjoyable, nor the rich character stories and world building that made Fallout 3 and Fallout 4 more than pointless walks in the wasteland. Uh, Look, the fact that Bethesda thought this was actually a good move just shows Bethesda aren't keeping up with their fans. Because I hate gaming companies that try to cater to new people without actually dealing with their core audience. Because when you have a good core audience, you still bring in more people anyway. So I never understood this whole I'm gonna change out this whole format. Look, an MMO for Fallout actually does sound good, and I can actually see the potential in it. But a lot of the mistakes that I've been seeing in other games, they unfortunately are caught in this game. Another aspect of the game that I thought was pretty stupid was how when you build something, you build a settlement or you build a little base camp, and then you log off and you log back on, it's back in your inventory. Now, to some extent, I can understand this, but at the same time, if you're because of the game, you're constantly moving. But at the same time, I think that's pretty stupid. Now, I think that there should be an option, whether when you reload or whatever. Hey, do I still want my camp or do I not want my camp? I think that option should be there. And then if you don't want it, it automatically packs everything up for you. And if you do want it, it stays there. This is definitely going to be one of those games there's uh, where the developer is going to get their ass kicked. And Bethesda, I don't understand how you could not see this coming, but hey, if you like if you like your fan base being pretty upset at you, you found a perfect way of doing it. I do hope that this game, and I want to get into more into it. Fallout 76 has no supporting characters. Every person you see is another player, but real people don't provide what written characters bring to a world. Exactly. Context, story, connection, and sense of life and place. Yes, real people usually run around erratically and babble into their headsets instead of using characters and dialogue. The meager story is told almost entirely through written logs and audio tips left behind after the bombs fell, which, although well written and voice acted, are overused to the point of absurdity. I would say that right there is actually pretty interesting. Like I can kind of roll with that, but it's still you should have NPCs in the world. Every time you're sent on a quest to find someone, and this happens a lot, you already know what that either they're dead, they're not there, or they turn out to be a robot or a computer. At first, there's melancholic interest in figuring out what happened to the previous inhabitants of Appalachia, but constant reading about and listening to interesting things that you didn't get to be a part of makes the entire game feel like you arrived late to a party and are left to clean up the mess. Whenever I did stumble across a place or storyline that was engaging, Fallout 76 would find ways of disrupting my play. Tedious community event involving killing endless mutants made one area impossible to traverse when I needed to go there on a mission. The loot that should have been waiting in the carcass of a large enemy that I had wasted all my ammo on wouldn't load. Enemies either wouldn't react to my presence or a large group of them wouldn't materialize out of nowhere. That's Fallout's automated targeting system was so unreliable in its estimation of whether a shot would hit it that it became more of a hindrance than a help, and shooting things about it isn't as much fun. 8 times in my 30 hours of play, the game disconnected from a service crash, which I heard a lot. And when I reload, I was outside whichever building I had been in, and all the enemies had respawned. Bugs and an occasional crash to be expected for an online open world games, but their frequency is a real issue in Fallout 76. Over time, the game will become more stable through patches and updates, but its current state seems to be held together by duct tape and sheer will. Look, I do question like where we are with gaming nowadays, because if you think about it, it doesn't really make sense where you're just throwing out these games half done, half baked, with and you're expecting players to buy it and then be like, okay, well, wait for the update to fix the bugs or wait for it to fill more content into the world. We need to make the little developers need to hold them accountable for stuff like this. Stop buying into their products. Get on them on social media. Make them put out more quality games. If you're charging your fan base $60 for a half baked game, and you know what I'm saying, you shouldn't be surprised at the backlash that you're going to get. Fallout 76 clearly, and a lot of people share the same thought, is a not finished game, and it seems like they don't even know what direction that they want to go with it. So there's a lot that could be learned from what's going on with Fallout 76, and I do hope that the developers actually learn from this and take this as a learning experience for the next game. We don't need a Fallout MMO. And then the problem is, I think also, you don't put out a Fallout MMO in place of another Fallout game. That's the problem. If you put out Fallout 5 and you decide you want to put out Fallout 76, fine. But don't think that this is going to supplement the Fallout 5 that everyone's waiting to see. Or and I wanted to talk about a little bit more about Fallout 76, but I'm sure I'll get to that later on in another video. So guys, in the comment section below, let me know what are your thoughts about the whole backlash and the rage behind Fallout 76. What do you think that they could have done better? Do you think this is clearly an unfinished product, or you think they're just trying to cash in like everybody else with microtransactions and this whole online play and the lack of actual content? thinking that the players are actually going to make the game more engaging. But yes, give me your thoughts and be sure to stay tuned Sundays and Thursdays for more videos, and we'll definitely catch you guys later. Narik Chase out.